Strap in, operatives. This is Go Bag, your all-access pass to modern-day RPGs, loaded with bullets, backstories, and a whole lot of bad decisions. And here are your mission leaders, Sean and Harrigan.
Welcome to Go Bag, everybody. Today we are going to do Tiny Spies, actual play, duet, vignette. Vincent Drake's back. Harrigan's at the helm. How you doing, Harrigan?
I'm pretty good. How are you? Pretty good. Doing okay.
Doing okay.
Hanging in there.
Hanging in there.
This is the second of the vignettes that we've recorded, correct?
Third.
That the two of us, I'm talking
yes,
about.
The two of us, yes.
Because I don't think, this is what I was going to say, like when we recorded James Bond, and we're going to do the same thing today with Tiny Spies, it's meant to be kind of instructional. It's meant to be a little look behind the kimono to see how the game is run. So there may be some things that Sean, as the player, becomes made aware of that he wouldn't normally in an RPG, but I'll try to keep the fourth wall sort of addressing the audience or the people who are looking to learn. And I think we did that in James Bond a little bit. Try to do that today. When Jason Connolly ran for us, he ran Top Secret for us. We didn't really do that. We didn't give Jason the same sort of heads up and the same briefing on what we're after. So that's a little more of a traditional short one-shot setting where Jason's the GM and Sean and I played through it. And if that has not dropped yet, it will soon, right, Sean?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah. You do all the hard work, man. I appreciate it. All the editing, all the post and all that stuff, right? So yeah, today is Tiny Spies, and what Sean and I talked about was just flowing. It won't be, you'll see, Sean, it won't be a direct follow-on. We're not going to pick up scene for scene with Mr. Vincent Drake. But I figured, we got a little story going. Why not sort of continue it in the characters and stick with Vincent? And, before we really get into the game, I'd love to have you tell me a little bit about Vincent Drake, because you built him in the last week in the Tiny Spies, in the generator or whatever. I guess he did it by hand, probably. There's not really a generator. Tell me more about Vincent, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and then we'll get into the game.
Well, picking up where he started in the James Bond world, James Bond RPG world, he's still an agent of the UK, of the Crown, if you will.
MI6. Yep.
MI6, baby. Not 00 status. I mean, he's got a few pounds to lose before he hits 00 status. So,
we'll see.
Vincent Drake in the Tiny Spies world, he's not smaller. He's about the same height. I think I had him down for about 5'4", maybe, potentially. Peppered hair, though he's probably looking a little older than his actual age. But in the Tiny Spies world, I made him an agent for an archetype. And his background is analyst. Yes. And then for his belief, I chose Forgotten Country because, you can't really be James Bond if you're not Forgotten Country. The other ones didn't align, I don't think. So
you can make up your own as well for
Sure.
those beliefs, but they do give you a little palette to choose from. Yep. Okay. So he's an agent. He still works for MI6. His belief is Forgotten Country. What else?
He has 4 traits, which will come as no surprise to those that are fans of Vincent Drake and the Vincent Drake Saga. The first one, of course, is going to be charismatic because, well, he's Vincent Drake. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
His second one is insightful. His third one is marksman, which allows him to be better with a light weapon, because that is his proficiency, is light ranged. He's not a heavy machine gunner or a hand-to-hand type of weapon aficionado, if you will. And then, of course, die hard, because he will only live thrice.
Do you have those handy? We should go into those to see what they tell me about mechanically what charismatic, insightful, marksman, and diehard do. But before you do that, you have light range proficiency, which really means handguns, throwing knives, etc. Right? Throwing stars, anything that's a light weapon that does 1 damage, takes 1 hand basically. But what is your mastered weapon type?
Oh, that's a good question. I did not write that down, but I would say probably a
Pistol.
9mm Walther PPK, man.
Okay. I don't think you even have to get that specific. I think you can just say pistols. And the Walther PPK isn't a 9mm, Sean. It's a 7.62, but that's okay. Actually, you know what? My gun cred's on the line here. It might be 7.65. I think I'll have to go check. It's a 32, generally speaking. But, yeah, there you go.
Every chance for me to have you correct me on guns.
You like that? Yeah, that's what I'm here for. I don't know if you read the fine print of the contract, but that's literally why I'm here.
That's right.
Point being, your service weapon, your pistol, is your favorite weapon.
It is.
Yeah, or your mastered weapon, which means you roll at advantage with it, right? So if those who heard the Tiny Spies breakdown, if you master a weapon, you're rolling at advantage, 3d6, and you're looking for a 5 or 6 on any die. If you have proficiency, you roll 2d6. It's a normal roll. And if you don't have proficiency, so picture that. Like, this is the part that's a little bit weird about this game. Like, Vincent, being this high-end agent, is not proficient in like rifles, in hand-to-hand combat. That would be light melee, right? So we'll get into some of that, but it's a little weird that you have such a narrow thing that you're good at, which is basically light ranged and now pistols, right? Anyway, you were going to talk about charismatic, insightful marksman and Die Hard.
Before we do that, I have to say, later years of Bond, probably more hand-to-hand than anything.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig's always getting his ass kicked hand-to-hand.
You know what? In fact, through the Bond movies, he doesn't shoot a ton.
No.
He's got the PPK a lot, and he's often, holding people at gunpoint, or he'll be in a little bit of a shootout. And there are times, especially on the Roger Moore side of things, where there'll be big gunfights, and he participates with the cast of thousands in red and blue jumpsuits who are shooting at each other, right? He'll participate in that kind of thing. But there's other things going on in Bond movies than just gunplay, for sure.
Yeah.
And the books, certainly.
Right.
Like, I forget which book it was. He never even pulls his gun. One of the first 3 books that I've read. Anyway.
You wanted me to go into the traits.
Yeah, tell us what the mechanics are, so listeners can understand, and I can keep it in mind. You can keep it in mind as we play the vignette.
Starting off with his core trait would be charismatic, which each trait in Tiny Spies has a little blurb at the beginning, few words. So this one is, I can get what I want without even asking. Yeah. You gain advantage when attempting to convince someone of something or otherwise influence them.
Nice. So like when you were at the gate or the front doors of the casino in the last vignette, charismatic would have come to play when you're trying to get the guards to let you in because you were a server who was late and all that stuff, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And of course I will use my powers for good.
I have no doubt.
The next one is insightful. Insightful is stop pulling my leg. You gain advantage when testing to discern whether or not someone is telling the truth or lying.
So it's kind of a whole like D&D, I disbelieve kind of thing.
That's right.
And you get advantage on that. Got it.
Yes. And then the third one that I have is marksman, which is the odds of hitting your target increase dramatically. That's the blurb. Everything else has a little spice. Not this one. Cut to the chase. It's the odds of hitting your target increase dramatically when you aim at it. So when using the focus action, your next attack with a ranged weapon is a successful on a test of 3, 4, 5, or 6.
So are you picking up what they're laying down there? If you just shoot, it's a 5 or a 6. if you focus, in other words, of your 2 actions on your turn, you spend one. Anybody spends 1 turn aiming. They get focus, which is 4, 5, or 6. You get 3, 4, 5, or 6 because of this trait. So yeah, you're hitting 2/3 of the time on one die.
Makes me want to think I should be a sniper rifle guy instead of a pistol, but whatever.
Well, it is called marksman.
True.
Anyway, yep, it's about basically taking the time to make the shot. You have a very good chance of hitting if you take the time to make the shot. And then Die Hard, what's that do?
Die Hard, that is, I could do this all day. When an attack would reduce you to 0 hit points, it instead reduces you to 2 hit points. You could do this once per day.
All day, once per day.
Right.
Kind of cool though. Basically, it's you got reserves. You're not down and out when it looks like you are. Right.
Right.
A little bit of a comeback you can make.
Also, I should mention my character typically gets 3 traits, but because I'm agent, I get the bonus 4th.
Yeah, and I think the way that I think there's 4 other archetypes. They all come with their own custom trait that you can't access otherwise in the game. So you have to choose that archetype to get it. The agent's the one that's like you're the do all. You're Bond. You can do it all. You're Born. Whoever.
I'm Drake.
All right,
silly.
In this case, you're Drake. Yes, yes. Okay. All right. Anything else you need to tell us about Drake? And I do love, by the way, he's probably like early 30s. He's one of those guys who's early 30s and still has salt and pepper hair. Like starts going gray at like age 29.
The life of a spy in MI6 wears on you.
Yep. It's distinguished, man. Makes him look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is nothing else that I can share other than the fact that I have 6 hit points for health. I don't have any affiliations or favors, but I think that comes with play, correct?
Are those something that's on the character sheet?
It's on the character sheet, but I don't believe it's part of character gen.
That is correct. It would come through play.
Yeah. So I think, and then vehicles, gadgets, and inventory, which I don't have anything filled in for that either.
Yeah, I would put down just like your Walther PPK somewhere on your sheet, so that you know that you're typically armed with it, right?
Gun.
Yeah, you could do that too if you want. It is Tiny Spies. Yeah.
Shooter. Pew pew shoot.
Mm-hmm. More of a pow pow, but that's okay.
Pow pow.
Good. We'll do the spy space stuff later, but not tonight. Not today. Okay. Anything else you want to do podcast wise, or set the scene for like what the series is or anything? These are, I thought you did a great job with the Bond version of this. But anything you want to put out there before we start? I
don't think so, other than the fact that if this is your first time ever watching Go Bag or listening to Go Bag, this is not the common format. This is a vignette duet game where one of us is going to game master and the other one is going to be the player. And as we do this, we're going to break some of the fourth wall to explain some of the rules as we play and how we explain things. So it's like taking actual play just a bit up to a notch in the mechanics piece, because somebody could watch this and say, well, how does Tiny Spies actually work? What's the mechanics behind it? So that's the purpose of this, is to not only do actual play and give you a little tasty taste of Vincent Drake's mojo, but also to show you what the game has to offer as far as, and the nuances. And then you can compare the different covert action games to see how they align. So thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, well said. And we do have the one from Top Secret, which is a slightly different format coming. And I think we're going to do Agent Provocateur soon enough as well. And that may even come up before this one does. Who knows? We'll see what the release order ends up being. The only thing I would add, Sean, for those who are tuning in for like a high-end AP experience, you're not going to get it. The focus is absolutely on mechanics. So there'll be some railroading. There'll be some sort of scene jumping, some hard framing to get us where we need to go. We're trying to get these done in like less than a couple of hours, I think is what we're really aiming at. Ideally like 90 minutes if we can do that. But as anybody who's run one-shots before knows, that can be hard to get much done in that kind of time period. Having one player makes it easier. But yeah, consider the focus here to be on the mechanics and not the story or the role-playing. But we'll hopefully make it entertaining as well. All right. You ready, Sean?
I am ready.
Okay.
I have my 6-shooter dice.
Oh, look at you. Just make sure you know how to read them, because those filled in little cylinder chambers. Yeah.
Those are the ones to read.
Look at them and you tell me.
They are.
Because one of them, okay, the black, right?
Right. Because if you take both ends, they should add up to 7.
You have to edit this out. Folks, he's holding up dice that are easy to misread is the problem. These are from not from Q Workshop. They are from who?
I don't remember. I got them at a con.
The name of the company. Damn it. We'll have to edit it in because I love these guys, actually. They make great dice. This one has revolver cylinders, one, with the gaps 1 through 6 where you put the bullets, basically. He's going to roll those for. In fact, these guys have made tiny D6 dice too, now that I think about it, which is kind of cool.
These are my lampshades and revolvers dice.
One day we will write that game. I'll sit down. It's going to be a lasers and feelings hack. It's going to be easy to do. Yeah. Should be easy. Black Oak Workshop. I knew it had to come to me. That's who makes the dice. Black Oak Workshop. Great dice. All right. It is still 1970-ish, let's say. If you remember last time when we had Vincent Drake's adventure, he was in Egypt. He ended up in a casino in Spain. There was a little bit of a chase. There was some gambling action. There was some seduction, etc., right? So we're still in that sort of 1970 handover from Connery to Bond kind of time period, right? It's still Connery at that point, or Lazenby actually is in the mix, but you know what I mean. It's kind of classic Bond era. And we are staying with all of the background we've already established. So you do work for MI6, and as the curtain opens in the movie theater and the crowd settles in to watch, we have a cold open, Sean, that doesn't have Vincent Drake in it. So get ready. Hang on to your hat, my friend. We see a train yard from an overhead shot somewhere in, it must be Eastern Europe or the Baltic or something. It's got to be somewhere like that. And this is the kind of scene where there must be 100 tracks. And in the distance, you can see that they jet off in many different directions, all going all over Europe kind of thing. But as the camera pans, we see a dark-haired man. He's handsome, he's rugged, got some dashing good looks, who has an attaché case handcuffed to his wrist. And he is running for his life. He is sprinting. Sweat's beading on his brow as the sun beats down. And as camera moves again, we actually see Budapest in the background. So we're in Hungary. And if you look closer, you'll actually see that we're in a famous place called Eschwantelek, which is a train graveyard in Budapest, known often as the Red Star Graveyard. You are 002 for this opening scene, Sean. 002 has a case full of secrets that he's trying to get back to headquarters, but he is being pursued by men trying to kill him. And in fact, let me share you a couple of pictures of what the train yard looks like. This is a famous place where plant life has taken over this huge train yard where there's all kinds of engines and cars that are all rusted out hulks and whatnot. But there's all kinds of plants growing up through the old stations and through the cars themselves. So I'm sharing a couple of pictures here with Sean in our Discord so you can see what it looks like. But you can picture there are rusted out train hulks everywhere. So there's tons of cover. There's lots of places to sort of, nooks and crannies to dart into, etc. So if you look at your Discord, Sean, you'll see that. But to punctuate what's going on right now, we're 002 running. There are a couple of shots ring out from way behind you. And there's dudes in black turtlenecks aiming pistols that just fired. And a few little ricochets go off around you. Ping, pow, pow. You've got to get to the other end of this train yard and try to find your contact that you're supposed to hand the case to. Now, we'll see how you get the case off your hand, but Anything you want to do or say other than just flee forward and try to escape this high intensity moment?
No, I think it's to make sure I have cover as I run down the tracks in between some of these cars to my rendezvous point.
Okay. So I will also say the audience sees blood on your face. It's clear that 002 has been injured. We don't even know it's 002 at this point. We're going to find that out later. All right, 002, you are keeping low. You've put a couple of train cars between you and your pursuers. You can still hear the gunfire kind of ringing out randomly as they're just firing in your direction. And you come to a point where you reach the end of a long, rusted-out train, knee-high grass all around you, and you got 100 yards or more to break for an old train station with a rusted-out metal corrugated sides and roof that's half collapsed. There are trees growing through it, but this is where you're hoping that your contact is going to make the connection with you. But you've got a long way to go before you get there. You gonna try to make that run?
I'm gonna make that run and ducking and dodging and hoping to maybe throw them off a little bit in different directions somehow. Like maybe I can lose them just for a brief moment.
Okay. Let's try initially to see if you can make the run. Actually, it sounds like you're not making the run. Like you want to do some misdirection first, right? I have an idea. Let's do this. Make a test, and this is where this is one of those games that's pretty roll forward, right? You can either describe what you're doing and we can test, but you can also just say, I'm going to try to evade and throw them off. And I'm just going to say, sure, I'll make a test without any kind of trait or environmental thing that would change that. It's going to be a normal test, which is 2d6. Yep, he's got them in his hand, and he's looking for a 5 or a 6. So let's see if you can basically throw them off of it here by throwing a rock and making a noise or something like that, right?
2 2s.
Okay, you got 2 2s. As you look around, there's no, they've got line of sight on you, and then you dart behind this one train car. They know where you are. You're not going to be throwing them off, unfortunately. So you're going to have to make this run, right, while they shoot. So what I want you to do now, I'm going to give you a pair of evades as you you know what? Let's actually use the combat rules a little bit differently. Recall in Tiny D6 games, you get 2 actions for a combat round, right? Let's say it's going to take you I'll say this. It's going to take you 3 moves to get there because you can move twice around, right? So you could combine a move and an evade, or you could just go all out. So in other words, if you're going to get 3 different movement ranges, and that really basically takes you from far to near to close because it uses range bands, right? So from the cover that you're crouched behind, forgive me for breaking this down the way I am, but I'm trying to get my head wrapped around how to run this thing. You need to make 3, you have to cover three range bands of distance, right? You get to take 2 actions in the first round. And if you just sprint, they're going to shoot at you and you won't get to evade. If you throw in an evasion, you'll be able to also try to evade a gunshot if it hits you, which is, remember, only 1d6, and trying to get that success. There are various traits that allow you to evade better and that sort of thing in the game, but old Vincent didn't choose those. What's your first move going to be?
This would be 002 and not Vincent, but that's okay.
I'm sorry. You're right. You know what? Let's play a little faster and looser with this. Let's say 002 does have some sort of trait that gives him 2d6 if he evades, because he's a 00 agent.
Okay, excellent.
Like that. It's not Vincent. It's somebody who's a little taller, a little more distinguished looking.
That's right. It's the cold open. It's somebody not in the main movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
At least yet. So, or down the road. I'm going to choose to evade and do 2 move actions. Never run in a straight line. Never give him a free single shot at you. So,
okay. So what that tells me is that will probably take you 3 rounds to get there, because you're going to be move, evade, and move, evade. You need the 3 move actions to get there, right? That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So outburst 002 running as hard as you can. 00 agents are in great shape. You're making up, all kinds of good ground, running through this long grass. You're having to jump over like old train wheels that are rusted on the ground. There's old railroad ties. There's some track that you have to get over. It's quite a run. And while you're running, crack, these pistols go off. They're running to keep up with you, but they're also firing. So the first guy hits. So you weren't going to want to try to evade that. And the second guy does not hit. So there's one potential damage coming your way. Going to try to roll your evasion. You got 2 dice, right?
Rolling my evade.
Okay.
I got 2 1s this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as one of these guns go off, what do we hear? What do we hear and see when one of them wings you in the shoulder? It's not a hit that will put you down, but it definitely draws blood. What do we hear and see?
It probably goes through my right shoulder as I'm trying to run away and comes out. And I grab with my left hand as my gun is in my right hand. I grab my shoulder and wince in pain and topple over a little sideways, kind of staggering as it exits the front of my shoulder.
Yep. This is kind of before, when this is filmed, it's before the time of squibs, where you have the remote-controlled gunshot little packets, right? And in fact, if you do watch From Russia with Love again anytime soon, there's a great scene in the shootout at the gypsy camp where they're having a big party, where a guy gets shot and clearly has the red stuff on his hand, and he grabs his stomach oh, you got me. He's rubbing it around so it goes on his shirt. I'm seeing 002 do something similar with his shoulder. Grabs his shoulder.
I smashed the ketchup packet.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But you get winged, dude. You're a third of the way there, and one of these guys has winged you already. So these 2 guys in their dark pants and dark turtlenecks are still coming. They're still pow, pow, pow coming. Make your second move, and then another evasion if you need to. Let me make their shots first. We're playing this pretty fast and loose here. There's 1 hit. Okay, one of them may hit you again. Did I tell you what your health is, by the way?
You did not.
Your health goes from 3 to 2 because you're already injured. And now you've got another shot coming in. Going to try to evade it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Try your evasion.
This time I rolled a 6, sir.
Look at you. All right. So ducks and weaves. You're a difficult target. We're looking down the sights of that guy's gun, and you're just zigzagging. He fires, and the bullet impacts in the dust.
Actually, can you add the really loud, obnoxious ricochet sound effect?
We can. It hits one of the steel tracks. Yes, we can. All right. And then you are 2/3 of the way there as we've kind of chunked this up, right? So 1 more move action and an evasion. They're still coming, and they still do shoot twice. Man, that first guy has hit you all 3 times. He's or potentially hit you unless you evade. So if you make this evasion, you're going to make it to the cover of the big rusted out train station building. It's more, I shouldn't say train station. It's more like a covered place where you keep all the locomotives and do maintenance on them and all that sort of stuff, right? It's a big, giant workshop that would fit 50 trains in it, that kind of thing. All right, go ahead.
2 1s again.
All right.
These have more symbols on them. I don't know what's going on.
What you're discovering is that the dice in Tiny Spies and Tiny D6 games are not that nice to you.
No.
With 2D6, you've got 55% chance to succeed or something like that, right? All right. Describe another hit, and you're down to 1 health as you stumble into the building.
Yeah, this one probably hits me in the leg somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So you limp in, bleeding from 2 fresh bullet wounds. You're hurting. You've got this attaché case, and as you see a close up, your wrist is rubbed and chafed raw red, like someone's tried to get this thing off your wrist in the most violent of ways. You're not in good shape, 002, as you stumble in. But as you come around the end of a great big locomotive with a big red star on the front, this being where the Soviets retire a lot of their engines in the area, you're expecting to see a woman with shoulder length steel gray hair, She's like one of the local agents in Bulgaria, but instead you see a man with silver plumage and a white little lapel pin with a white scorpion on it. And he's standing in his 3-piece, very tailored suit, and he smiles looking at you and says, 002, you're expecting to find someone else? He draws a long stiletto from beneath his vest and says, you have something that belongs to me. What do you do, 002?
Pop the cyanide pill. No. Just kidding. How far away is he from me?
30 feet. You can move and get to him. We require one move to get there.
So this is obviously an ambush, right?
Yes.
Took care of my...
Either you were set up, or he found out who your contact was and they've been removed or something. You're not sure which.
Son of a bitch.
I will take it from you by taking your arm. He flicks that stiletto back and forth. He's very skilled with knives. He starts walking towards you.
And so is the attaché, the briefcase, like handcuffed to me?
It is handcuffed to you.
Okay. So I hold it.
We have not revealed what's inside of it yet.
No.
Yeah.
So it would have made it interesting to grab my shoulder, but that's okay. I would have done it with it in my hand. Like,
Yeah, it could have been the other hand. It's okay.
Well, I got a lot of
that's
hands.
one of those editing mistakes that people love to point out later.
That's right. Continuity. What?
That's a continuity problem.
How did he hold his shoulder? Where's the briefcase?
Exactly.
Do I know what's in the briefcase?
You do. Yes, you do. 002 does. And you know you do not want to give it back to him. It's something you've taken from his organization.
Okay. I just was contemplating like throwing it out into the air and having a...
That's not a good idea.
That's fine.
That is not a good idea.
I will close on him and swing that thing as if it were like a flail.
Okay, sweet. So let's do a little bit of combat, which when you look, I was playing, like I said, playing a little bit looser with it when you were outside running. But now I want you to roll a test to see, it's an initiative test to see who goes first, right?
I don't have any modifiers for that, I imagine.
I think it's just a standard test. So 2d6, unless you would have a trait or something, or again, like if this is where the situation would matter, right? If you were kind of surprising somebody, I could make it an advantage. If someone was surprising you, I could make you roll it at disadvantage. But this is, I think you're both ready, right? So he doesn't roll. It's player facing. You just make your test. If you succeed, you go first. If you fail, he goes first.
I rolled a 5.
You succeed. Okay. So you've got to use a move action to get to him. Then it's not like you're going to use an attack action as well. Is that right?
I am.
All right. Let's do 2d6 and see if you can hit him with the case.
Do I have any trait do I have so do I have a proficiency in melee or ranged?
Let's say you're 002. You've added some things to the pile, so you've at least got proficiency in light melee, which is what the case is.
And that would allow me 2d6, but I hit on a 4, 5, 6.
Why a 4, 5, or 6?
Because of the proficiency, or no? Am I wrong?
No, proficiency. Yeah. So if you don't have proficiency, like if you were Vincent in this situation with the case, you would be rolling 1d6 to try to hit him because you don't have light melee. This 002 agent has light melee, so he's allowed to roll 2d6 and still trying to get a 5 or a 6.
Got it.
Think about it this way, though. This is where like you had to use one of your actions to get close to him, right? If you were able to use one action to like prepare or to like muster your strength, this is where you can focus for an action. And then you would hit on a 4, 5, or 6. So if you if you burn a whole action to focus on something, it improves your odds basically. But as it stands right now, you didn't have time to do that.
I don't want to focus. I'm going to go in there and just whomp him upside the head with this briefcase. That is the intention.
Okay. Got it.
I rolled a 4 and a 3.
All right. That is a failure. This game has no meta currency. So this is one of the things that I want like us and listeners to become aware of. Like the game is, that's why I said like maybe as a Cold War simulator, it's better because you have no recourse for your miss, right? And now he gets 2 actions. So he can attack twice. Let's find out how that goes. I am going to say if you use the attaché case to defend, although you didn't evade. Oh, you've used your actions. Oh my God. So this is also where it makes a big difference as to whether you go first. Like here, forgive me for getting ahead of myself. One thing you could have done, and maybe I'll make this more clear when we have Vincent in action. You can save an action to use it as an evade. So you can attack and say, I'm worried about the reprisal. So I'm going to save one of my actions and use that as an evade. As it stands right now, 002 is desperate. He crossed that distance. He swung the case. The guy stepped back and avoided it. And what he does with his stiletto, which he rolls at advantage. Oh, the first swipe is just beneath your chin, misses your neck though. But there's very much a cat and mouse kind of, you're both walking delicately around. You know, he's got this twirling knife. You got the case that you're holding up, trying to protect yourself. Second swipe hits you and you can't evade, can you?
Not in this
he
room.
He opens your cheek from nose to ear. A full slash, blood pours down, and he twirls the stiletto and holds it up and looks at it. Not only do we see your blood, 002's blood running down it, but it's glistening with something else as well. 002's throat starts to constrict a bit. Can't breathe. Falls to his knees as El Scorpion Blanco twirls his knife, cleans it off, slides it back into its sheath in his vest, and 002 keels over dead in front of him, eyes staring. Yeah, we go to the montage of the looking down the barrel of the gun, and here comes Vincent. All right, there's our cold open. You cool with that?
Yeah.
All right. Good. I'm glad to hear that. All right, our next scene is a briefing room in London in MI6. And as we join the scene in progress, M is briefing one Vincent Drake. What's Vincent? How's he dressed? What's he look like you've seen The Office 100 times with all the mahogany and wood in that office.
Charcoal gray suit, white shirt. 70s, right? Probably a little skinnier tie than the typical business attire of the late 80s.
Yeah.
Probably has a fedora gray charcoal black band before he walks into M's office before the briefing. He probably tried to toss it onto the coat tree.
Moneypenny rolls her eyes. Roll a test to see if you can do it. We'll see if Moneypenny is impressed or not.
Oh, 2 5s.
Look at that. Right on there. And so also recall where, and forgive me, this is one of those sidelines. We'll get into it. In the review of Tiny Spies, I mentioned how Tiny D6 games don't really encode. They don't interpret all the information that is encoded into a die roll. Sean just rolled 2 5s. Tiny D6 says, I don't care. As long as you roll 1, I'm good. It could mean something further if you wanted to house rule it to say he actually got 2 successes there, not just 1. But to keep things lean and mean, the Tiny D6 games say, as long as you get 1, just move on, right? There's no criticals, there's no fumbles. You just kind of move ahead. Many people house rule this part of it, especially if you look at a 1 on a D6 to make a 1 a fumble. And basically what they say is, if you get a 1 on all dice, it's a fumble. And that makes sense because if you have 2 dice in a standard test, it's harder to fumble than if you were at disadvantage because you have to get 2 1s on 2 dice instead of 1 done on 1 1-1 on one die, and becomes even harder when you have advantage, etc. Long story short, hat sails across the room, lands on the coat rack, the hat rack, and Moneypenny gives you a smile and a wink as you go through the door. Sean's giving her the nod. For those who are listening,
yes,
he's making all kinds of facial.
Yeah, sorry, it's a podcast for non-audio aficionados.
Indeed,
I nod towards Moneypenny and give her a little wink, and then enter into M's. I actually look at her for like approval to walk into the office before opening the door.
She buzzes you through. He's on his way, sir. And then we let's for the sake of brevity and time, let's we're not going to do a big detailed debriefing, but the gist of it is M saying to you, so you remember your time in Spain investigating Blanco. 002 was further investigating him and has been found dead in Budapest, Hungary. We need you, Drake. You need to be our man and find Blanco. 002 had something very important he wanted to bring back to headquarters, and we don't know what it was. You need to recover this from Blanco after you find him. He raises an eyebrow and says, do you still have connections with the Contessa, Lucia Marin? We have word that El Scorpion Blanco's cabin cruiser yacht has been seen off the coast of her casino again. He's been there recently. Do you still have that connection?
I believe I do, sir.
Excellent. He slides a dossier forward and he says, congratulations, 003. This is your license. You know what to do should you see Blanco. Recover that case and do what needs doing.
Of course, sir.
All right. Anything else you want to do here, or should I have Q bust in? Yes, 007.
I want to know the name.
003.
I want to know the name of the yacht.
Okay, I've got the name of the yacht. The name of the yacht is the Colmillo, which means fang. Colmillo. Colmillo. And it's one of these, I'll drop it in the Discord. It's one of these, Thunderball style, multiple level cabin cruiser, like helipad on the back, radar up top, black bikini clad Italian ladies hang out on it. This is a serious boat that's been spotted near the casino where you were last time when we last saw Vincent. So in other words, they recovered 002's body. And then subsequent to that, the Colmillo was spotted off the coast of Spain, but they don't know where it went. And they're wondering if the Contessa does know that information. The Contessa who you have a history with. Lucia. Sean's nodding.
I am nodding, yes.
One side.
Lucia, Contessa, got it.
Yes, got it. Okay. And let me get back to my notes here. Q breaks in. 003. Some equipment that you might find useful on this. First, a laser watch. So he opens a box. This is Q now in the office. Pulls it out. And what you have, Sean, is a light ranged weapon, a laser that can be used to cut through metal if need be. But every time you use it, you have to make a save test with disadvantage. And if you fail, that uses all the power in the watch. So it has a very limited battery. It's meant to be like for cutting bars, etc. You can picture the beam is effective for about maybe 8 or 10 inches, right? This is not a long-range weapon. Also, 002 was found with some sort of strange toxin or venom in his body. He holds a little vial up and says, anti-venom. For you. Good for 1 hour. Only 1 dose. Very, very difficult for us to manufacture. Don't waste it. And then he also hands you a dossier with some blueprints in it and says, should you need these, we're not sure that you will. Contact me and I can tell you more about the specifications and the use of this device. This, Sean, we will get into later if we happen to need it.
Very
Questions?
good. So as he looks at the watch, originally he's kind of looking at it and adjusting the band and winding it. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the anti-venom, probably opens it up and smells it, puts the stopper back into it. Just making probably Q nervous. I don't know. Maybe.
Yes. No, don't uncap it. It's volatile. He screws the cap back up.
Pardon me. This is very good. Appreciate this, Q.
Make good use of our resources. M's got his pipe out now. He's smoking it. Says, good luck, 003. Meet with the Contessa. Find Blanco. Complete the mission.
Very well. Good day, sir.
Off goes our newly minted 00.
Yeah, baby.
All right. You are 003 now, Vincent.
You know, I feel as though I've always been.
That's right. He's like, it's only a matter of time. All right. Scene wipe. Na, 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 na. Insert various Bond 60s fantastic, music that takes you from one scene to the next, basically. And we see, I'll share this again for you, Sean, a winding road on the Spanish coastline. We've all seen these beautiful, coursing highways back and forth, almost like a racetrack. Lots of low green vegetation, blue water in the background. And there are two cars that are parked in a little pullout, like an overview that looks over the ocean. And we see both Vincent, and we see wearing dark sunglasses and with her long shock of dark hair, Contessa Lucia, gorgeous as she was in the previous movie. Same actress. They've done well bringing her back. Yeah. That may not be true for all of our characters. We'll see.
I think Agent Drake's, the actor that plays, probably forfeited a few dollars so she could come back.
Yes. There you go. He wanted that actress back in the saddle.
That's right.
Fair enough. All right. So the two of you, she agreed to meet you out of sight, essentially. Not in her casino castle. I forget the name of it, the Red Wolf or whatever the hell it was called. Go back and look at it. But this is basically a secret meeting. And she says, does she know your name, your real name?
Vincent Drake, of course.
Okay. Why wouldn't she?
Drake. Vincent Drake.
Yep. All right. So she's leaning against her car, probably smoking a cigarette since it's 1970. Bond smokes so many cigarettes in the first couple of movies, dude. It's crazy. Anyway, the wind is blowing this shock of hair. Yeah, Drake's there with his cigarette. And she says, Vincent, I did not expect to see you again so soon. What do I have to thank for this? You're gracing me with your presence.
Well, I've missed you, darling.
Have you?
Well, of course. But I will say that it is also mixing business with pleasure. Perhaps we could, when I'm done, take a country drive to our favorite restaurant. But before we do, I must find the Scorpion. Have you heard of his whereabouts lately?
The Scorpion? He is a dangerous man.
He is.
What are you offering for this information?
Darling, now I thought, why would I have to offer you something? I thought just our company would be something that would be valued to you. But I know...
She walks up while you say that. She interrupts you. Grabs you by the lapels of your shirt, leans in close. Doesn't quite kiss you, but you can tell she's thinking about it. And she says, I already know what I want. Some excitement in my bland life. She shoves you back against her car, runs for her Alfa Romeo Spider, and says, if you can catch me, you can have the information. She slides in, guns the engine, peels out, rocks are flying. Your Porsche 911 Targa S is parked nearby as well. We're going to have a car chase. You have to catch her for her to be able to tell you this information.
The story of my life.
So your car is German, 1970 Porsche 911 Targa T-Top, 180 horsepower for the S model. She's got about 130 some horsepower in her Alpha. So you've got more power, but she's got a little light, like very nimble car on these roads. So are you ready to do a chase?
I am.
Okay. So we kind of glossed this over when we covered it doing the review because there's a fair bit to it. I dug into it last night. I'm either going to not like it, this chase mechanic, or I'm going to be surprised because as I first read it, I'm like, oh, I don't know about this compared to the James Bond one. By the time I got to the end and I was sort of tallying some things, I was like, actually, I kind of like how some of these things work. So put Bond's chase mechanic out of your mind, right? The one that we've done so far. This tracks momentum. And basically, we're going to establish a starting momentum for the agent, for the super spy in Tiny Spies. If you can double that momentum, so if you start off at 3, for example, if you can get to 6, you'll have caught her. You'll have won the chase. If she can get that momentum down to 0, she's going to get away, and you're not going to get the information. So we use a little table to establish what the momentum is, and I don't know if you're going to show that eventually here. That is, let me just zoom to it for a second. So starting momentum is the number of super spies, which is 1, right? Just Vincent. Are you outnumbered? No. You'd lose momentum if you were. Are you in a faster mode of transportation? Yes. The Porsche is faster. So you get +2 for that, taking your starting momentum to 3. Are the opponents in faster cars? No, that would be a -2. Does the player have a head start? No. Is there a crowded area? No. Is there advanced technology in use? So the rest of these are all no's, right? So really what it means is as she pulls away and as you jump behind the wheel of the Porsche and pull it onto this winding road, start gunning the engine, you have a starting momentum of 3, and then we move into the chase itself, which starts with a bid phase. And the way this works is you have the 3 momentum, right? To be able to go first in the chase, which means really you dictate the types of maneuvers that people will be using. So in other words, if let's say you're her, if you choose a fast turn and you're going first, the person chasing you has to choose fast turn or they lose the chase sort of thing. So by going first, you get to dictate what some of the actions might be. And like the Bond game, there are set maneuvers that you'll be choosing from. They include floor it, which is go fast. They include overwhelm, which is pretty interesting. It's trying to disrupt your opponent. So it's like braking right in front of them. It's tapping their car. It's harrying them in various ways to basically you might make them wipe out or spin out by the actions you're taking. So there's floor it, there's overwhelm, there's fast turn. And this is one that's kind of cool where it can make you automatically go first if on the next turn if the opponent doesn't choose it. There's a flip a U, which is basically a 180 where you can flip the car around and go back towards them. Bond had a similar one if you remember correctly. So basically you can perform like a head-on pass, and if you were attacking, it would potentially attacking or ramming, you could potentially do that. And then there's a stunt as well. Most of these result in a +1 or a +2 shift to momentum if you are successful. And then the other car has to do the same thing, which also might result in gaining or losing momentum. So hopefully I'm being kind of clear here. We should see it over a couple of rounds as it plays out. So basically you spend your momentum, you have a bid phase to see who gets to go first. And from there you choose one maneuver each in order. Whoever won the bid goes first, then whoever lost the bid goes. And the momentum is going to keep shifting up and down. There will be tests. So if you were, for example, floor it, you're going to make a standard test with your car to see if you can, in fact, catch up a little bit. And that would be +1 momentum. So momentum will go from 3 to 4, for example, that kind of thing. You have any questions or any more insights you want to share? Or should we just get to the chase?
I think I'm good.
Okay. So I'll leave it to the player to bid first. And you can also bid. Forgive me for drinking. What does it say about bidding? After the starting momentum is established, the super spies will bid against their opponents, starting with the super spies. That's what I wanted to know. Choose how much momentum you're willing to spend to take the first action. So my advice to you is that before we see this in action, I wouldn't spend a ton, because we don't know how important going first is versus conserving your momentum, because you've only got 3 to start with. So what's your opening bid going to be?
Oh, bid 1, sir.
You will bid 1. Contessa looks in her rearview mirror with her big dark glasses as the yellow Porsche takes the road. She doesn't bid at all. So that means you get to go first. You can choose the maneuver as her gray Alpha with the red interior and her shock of hair out the back tears down the road in front of you. What is your maneuver going to be? Floor it, overwhelm, fast turn, flip a U, or stunt?
Floor it.
Okay. So here's something that's kind of cool. Tiny Spies does have traits on cars as well, right? One of the ones that a sports car gets is supercharged. And it means if you are in a test where speed matters, like this one, you get to roll an advantage. So you put the pedal to the metal, that's what it says, and kick it into high gear, make a driving test if in a vehicle, or a standard test if you're on foot. If successful, choose +1 or -1 to the momentum, and you may choose to make the test with this. Oh, listen to this. If you drive like really wildly, you can choose to make the test with disadvantage. But if you're successful, you would add or subtract 2 from your momentum. So you could really make it high risk if you wanted to. If you just want to just kind of roll out and try to catch her by flooring it, I think that's just a standard test. But the Porsche offers advantage. So on 3d6, if you get a 5 or a 6, you're going to add 1 to your momentum, which is now 2, right? The momentum has dropped from 3 to 2. Does that make sense?
Does. I'm going to just take the advantage of the sports car, not do anything too crazy.
Got it. 3d6, man. Second gear, accelerate. Third gear.
Roll a 6. A 3 and a 2.
So the momentum goes from 2, because you spent 1 on the bid, back up to 3. And then it's her turn. And she is also going to floor it to try to increase the distance. So you can imagine if she's successful, it'll go back down to 2, right? But she, in her little Alpha, it's not a speedster, right? This is not like a powerful sports car. So she's only going to roll 2 dice. She succeeds. So it drops back down to 2. And that, you know what? This is one of the parts that I like about it. The steps are establish momentum in the first round only. Then you have bid, winner maneuvers, loser maneuvers, repeat the process. Like very simple chase rules. So we go right back to the bid phase now. So you close the distance, and then she got to some wiggles in the road, some curves, and she's starting to pull away again a little bit. She's got the hammer down too. So we're back to the bid phase, and you can pass, in which case she would go first, but you wouldn't spend momentum. Does that make sense? Or you can spend 1 momentum.
I'm going to spend 1 momentum.
Okay, so you go down to 1. And you get to choose your maneuver first.
I'm going to floor it again.
Okay, 3d6. Just trying to use that speed.
6, 4, and a 1.
Okay, momentum goes from 1 to 2. What's she going to do here? I'm trying to read as well. Like some of these maneuvers make the opponent have to choose the same maneuver. Some of them do not. No, she's going to try overwhelm. So Porsche now hits 4th gear, right? It's roaring. The engine behind you, right? Rear engine vehicle. So suddenly her bumper and license plate are rushing right up to you as the Porsche just overwhelms the Alfa Romeo. And she slams on her brakes. And you're like, what the, Vincent's got to get right on it to not wipe out. So she's trying to overwhelm, to disrupt you, to make a mistake. She doesn't have to roll anything. You have to make a save test. And if you fail, you have to immediately roll on the complication table. So Vincent has to make a test. And if he doesn't have any kind of driving trait, it's going to be 2d6. This is where in her car, because her car is very agile, I would probably award advantage to this type of high-speed maneuver. It's very agile, right? But the Porsche is a little heavier. So I want you to roll a regular test to try to avoid a complication.
4 and a 2. No luck.
That's a failure. Roll a d6, Sean.
A 3.
Oh, accident. You must make a save test or give your opponent 2 momentum in their favor. If you do that, she gets away. So when she brakes hard, you have to slam on your brakes. The back end breaks loose. And you start, you're sliding sideways down this little road. So this is you trying to get control of it again. And if you don't, you're going to spin out onto the gravel shoulder, and she, with her long hair, is going to disappear down the road. Make your test.
Great. 2d6, correct?
2d6, unless you've got some trait or something.
No.
Nope. Okay.
Four and a 2.
4 and a 2.
Yeah.
All right. Porsche spins out. Gravel flies as you go off the side of the road. You don't particularly damage the car. You do your ego, and her alpha you see just ripping down these narrow roads. She clearly knows these roads better than you do. Off she goes. That is the end of the chase because she brought the momentum from 2 down to 0. Okay. As you pick back up, Vincent, you're on the side of the road. You probably have gotten out of your Porsche to make sure there's no damage under the car, et cetera, right? Because you had this pretty significant spin out. Dust is still rising from your near wipeout spin out. And she has disappeared around a corner up ahead and is now like not even in sight, right? You then, you know what? Let's do this. Make a test for me, just a regular test. Kind of if you have anything around senses,
Insightful.
which I don't think you do. But that's for lying, right?
Yeah, it is. It's not going to work.
Yep. Nope, not going to work.
Can I use insightful?
Sure. Now roll 2d6.
I can? Insightful? No.
As long as you only roll 2d6, I don't care what you use.
Yeah, you can call it whatever
Standard
I want.
test. Yep, exactly.
A 4
Standard.
and a 1.
Okay. You hear the sound of her engine sort of disappearing in the distance a little bit. You then hear another sound, an engine coming closer. And what is this? I did all this research on these fantastic late 60s, this is an Alfa Romeo GTV. Check this out, Sean. I'll drop it in the Discord. So coming roaring back from the way that she went is this maroon colored, compact sedan. And it comes roaring past you with the window open. There's 2 guys in it. And one of them is just looking out at you with this big smile on his face. He's a bald guy. Big smile as they rip past you. And, as you finish the inspection of your car. And they are going back the other way up towards her castle.
I recognize that guy is probably Top Hat without his top hat.
Bald head, I think his name is.
Bald head.
Yes. If we're going to be literal
head.
about our villains. Yes. Oh my. What do you do, Vincent? You go down the road after her, you go back to the castle. What do you do?
Well, I don't know if they're bad guys in the car.
You don't. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. It was 2 dudes in the car. One had his window down. He was kind of looking at you as they went.
He was glaring at me. I didn't like it, but
he was glaring at you. Yep.
I'm gonna go
Absolutely.
south and see if I can catch up with her or
So you get
rendezvous with her.
You get the car back on the road, little fishtail, get it going, and you don't go but a mile or 2 out of around the corner that she disappeared down, and you see her little car off the road.
I knew it.
All right, Porsche comes screaming up and slam the brakes on, I presume, right?
Right.
Why don't you describe it? I don't want to do all the talking here.
So I could see from a distance that her car's like tilted off the side of the road.
The car is veered off the road into a ditch, like it's like partly in the ditch, so like one wheel's in the air, taillights are still on.
So I pull up quickly, hit the brakes, making the car slide, just throw it in park, get out of the car, and rush down to the car to see if she's okay.
All right. So you can picture, you have to like kind of climb down the bank. You're doing it, half jumping down. Yep. Kind of leaping down. She's behind the wheel, and you can see, even when you come around the side of the car, this awesome little Alfa, sports car, a stitch of holes in the windshield, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like someone raked automatic fire across the windshield. Her head is hanging limply by the steering wheel. She's not moving. Down comes Vincent. What do you do, Vincent?
Sons of a bitch. Wow. I'd want to get her to a doctor, but is she alive?
Do you check up?
I check it to make sure she's alive.
So you get in there, and sure enough, she's been shot a couple of times. She seems semi-conscious, like she's not dead, but she is absolutely dying. So she's, she's not conscious that you're there, but she groans when you kind of move her head a little bit, and you can tell that she needs to get to a doctor quickly, or she's gonna die. But she also has information that you want, so you prioritize what you want to do here.
So I say, who did this? Who did this to you?
She groans in your arms now. She leans against you, blood all over her, all over you, and she says, "It must have been Blanco's men. It must have been. They were waiting for me."
We're gonna get you to a hospital. Do you know where the Scorpion is?
He left here. You pick her up as she's talking to you now. You're taking her to your car.
Yeah.
He left these waters 1 week ago. They were going. Her eyes flutter. She's almost ready to pass out. To Saint-Tropez. And her head hangs limply. And now we're going to make a momentous test to see if you can get her to a hospital before she dies, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put her in the passenger seat of the Porsche. You stop the wounds, the bleeding as much as you can, but you've got to get her to a hospital.
Okay.
Do you have anything? Oh, you know what? The Porsche's supercharged. I'll let you have advantage on this roll because it's fast, right?
It is.
So the Porsche lets you get there quickly. You got advantage on this roll. This is live or die for the Contessa.
I spend a... Oh.
No, you don't. Which some people will like. That there's so much. Yeah, this is for Connolly, this roll. There's no way to change it.
A 1, a 2, and a 2.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about this, your inability, how this makes you feel, like how, when she expires and how close you get, etc.
He's going down these windy coastal roads. The engine of the Porsche is screaming. Every once in a while, he does a close-up of his face, and he's sweating, and then he's glancing over to see if she's still with him. And at the same time, coming up behind cars, like 100 miles an hour down to like 50, trying to wiggle around, and then it's like an exterior curve, and he's like, waits until he can get a view, passes around the car, just frantically driving, honking, looking at her as she's breath getting shallow, screaming down this road, not going fast enough, starting to get a panic. His eyes are really intense. Shifting of the gears, the whining of the engine. Pulls into town, like just blowing through streets in this small little villa of a town with cobblestone. Finally makes his way to like a hospital and pulls into the emergency kind of entrance spot and gets out of the car quickly and goes around to the back, flagging emergency doctors or medical personnel to the car. And they drag her out, and he realizes like she's not breathing. And they probably even say, "She's not breathing." And he's just like...
The music swells. Close up of his face. And we have a wipe. Sean's giving us all kinds of emotion in his face. We cut, Sean, to Saint-Tropez, which I'm dropping a picture of. You've all seen pictures of. This is the Riviera in France, Nice, Cannes, etc. You've seen these like gorgeous pastel buildings right on the water with all kinds of markets and stalls in front of them, tons of yachts out in front. The water's right there. So this is, Saint-Tropez is one of those towns. And to be good with our time, we see Vincent at a cafe table smoking a cigarette. His eyes are hard. He's smoking the cigarette. He's got a drink in front of him. And across the water is, what do we call it? The Colmio? That boat? Yep. And did I share that picture already? I think I did. Yep.
Did, yeah.
So that like 3 or 4 deck, glistening white super yacht, basically, at least for 1970. You have found your way to Saint-Tropez, and you have indeed identified that at least you haven't seen El Scorpion Blanco, but his yacht is here, and you're looking at it right now. It's like moored half a mile offshore type of thing. In front of you, again, this is where we get a little railroady because we're trying to be good with time. In front of you is the dossier that Q gave you, and as the wind sort of blows it open a little bit, you see Vincent's hand. He closes the cover. We saw the schematics for a one-man submarine. Then I'll leave it to you, Vincent, as to what you want to do.
So the schematics of the one-man submarine, is that...
You can have that. You have that delivered to Saint-Tropez if you want.
Gotcha.
Yep. As a means of, infiltrating the Colmio.
Got it. So I take the dossier and take the newspaper that's sitting there, and I unfold the newspaper, shove the dossier in it, fold the newspaper over, stick it under my arm, and make my way down to the docks where this submarine may be sitting.
Well, you know what? Tell me about it. It can't be out in the plain sight. Tell me about how it is camouflaged along with all the other yachts and like rowboats and fishing boats and everything else that's here. This is a pretty high end area, right? So I shouldn't say fishing boats. Probably aren't too many fishing boats here. It's probably mostly sailboats and power boats, yachts.
It's probably like a weird, strange, beat up fishing boat, but pretty large. And it's up against, maybe a little uncharacteristic, but maybe there's an old, I don't know what you call a garage for boats, but
boat shed.
Boat shed, yeah. And it's
Seriously,
pulled up to that. Like it's backed into it a little bit.
Okay.
And as Drake walks like down the pathway in the sidewalk, then it starts to become skiffs and makes his way to where it's not very busy. There's not a lot of foot traffic in this particular area. Maybe it's more business, right? Fishing boat business or transport.
Okay. Yeah, you're at one end or the other of the market area.
It's not the touristy end where
Yep. Got it.
The oligarchs come in and park their big yachts.
This is where the shell fishermen are and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Big boons, netting everywhere, and
birds, seagulls in the air.
Yes. And he walks very purposefully, like knows exactly where he's going, what he's looking for, and he comes across this boat. It's called the Queen Elizabeth or something.
Got it.
Elizabeth's, yeah. And he hops up board, and everybody that's working on the boat look like fishermen. They got the big coveralls on, and they're just going about their business. And he walks on like he owns the place. Nobody pays any attention to him, and he goes back down around the cabin, and there's a stairway that's down.
Nice.
And he walks down the stairway, and he comes to a small bulkhead door that's kind of rickety and not like a typical ship door, strangely enough. And he swipes across a picture that's hanging on the wall, and he just kind of swipes it, and it pivots almost like it's
Yep.
on a pin on a corner, and divulges a pin pad. He pushes in a couple key numbers, brings down the photo back, and then the wall kind of shifts, divulging a bulkhead door. He unscrews it, opens it up, and goes through it, completely different than the rest of the ship. And then it's like a 10-foot long, kind of winds back to the back of the ship. And another it's a bulkhead door, and he opens that, and you could see the submarine kind of bouncing in the water very subtly as he sees it.
So inside the ship, or like underneath the ship, or
Probably in the back underneath. So maybe there's like, it's the fishing boat seems rather mundane, but in the back it's deeper.
Gotcha. And you just walk right onto the sub, and then you'll detach and drop.
Yeah.
And
It's
off you
probably
go.
even suspended, maybe like from a crane inside. Like, and he just kind of climbs up a little ladder, squeezes in between the ceiling and the sub.
All right. Was there any gear or anything that Vincent wanted to, request before he gets into the sub? And
Scuba gear.
Scuba gear. Okay.
Scuba
Got it.
gear, oxygen tank, flippers, no wetsuit.
Well, it's going to be shallow and it's warm.
And he's gonna have his Speedo on, and he'll have his little.
You can do that Connery thing where it's like a half wetsuit with shorts, where it's like an orange jacket, long sleeve, but with like short neoprene short shorts. Vincent needs one of those, dude.
Yeah.
I also remember Largo from Thunderball. Largo's not a small dude. Must be like 280 or something. The zipper on that thing is under extreme stress when he zips up his wetsuit. Okay, so the real question is, if you're going to begin the infiltration now, are you waiting till dark? Are you doing it in broad daylight? What's the overall plan there?
He does it at twilight, like twilight in the day, like later evening, sunset.
Okay. So when we saw him get up from the table, the sun was actually pretty low in the sky. And he's like, it's time, kind of thing, right? So you guys have identified.
Well, maybe it wasn't, but now it is.
Yes, fair enough. The sun was like directly overhead.
It's like noon, bright ass day.
And then,
he walks
he walks
2
100
minutes,
yards.
and it's like almost nighttime.
Yes. Fair enough. But I think at some point you are joined. One of the hands comes down with you to make sure that they have to probably seal the hatch behind you and all that kind of stuff, right? So there's a quiet clapping on the shoulder. People know that there's been some tragedy involved in this, and they know that the newly minted 003 has not been himself as he's arrived in Saint-Tropez and climbs into the submarine.
That hand is from HQ, but he's here, and I know we know each other's names, right?
Correct. You sent him to get you educated on the sub and all that sort of stuff, and he just gives you a good luck, sir, as you go in. Are you wearing your scuba suit already?
No, it's probably I'm probably wearing like shorts and a very casual top, like a
linen shirt, like a
linen shirt,
summer shirt.
And then when I need to button up, I'll rip off my shirt, like just pull it apart, buttons
Vincent.
pop off. And then he puts on the scuba tank and
insert rubber stretching sounds here.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So as the sun touches the water, golden hues across, all of Saint-Tropez on the water. It's gorgeous outside. You can see that long streak of sunshine reaching towards the town, and further out is the boat that you're going to, the Cormio. The sub detaches and heads off.
It does.
Okay. Insert 70s cartoon submarine noises here.
And the audio, like the music.
Yes, exactly. All of the Bond, all of the Bond rising tension kind of music. But sure enough, on the surface, the fishing boat you were describing kind of bumps and rocks a little bit. There's some bubbles probably come up from the back. And then we switch to inside. And I'm not picturing this sub as being very large, Sean. These one-man subs were like you're having to almost like ride a bicycle kind of thing, the way you have to crouch in there. But the screws start spinning, and then it drops down beneath the boat. And beneath a whole, you can probably, looking up, there's a ton of other boats, right? There's people swimming, there's people kayaking and on their boards and everything else above you.
Yeah, I picture the front of the boat like being almost the full ball.
Yep.
Of transparency, and the controls
are
all
Got it.
viewable.
So Vincent's there.
It's like an old chopper.
Yeah,
from like the MASH days, but it's only a single.
Yeah, one of those Obel helicopters. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's probably got one joystick in the middle of between my legs.
Yes, I love it. All right, so the seafloor you can see the seafloor. It's gorgeous with all the kelp and grass waving, in the waning sunlight above. You can see the surface of the water has kind of got that golden hue as all these boats are above you. But within just minutes, you're past the marina. And past where all the boats are moored, and you're in the open water. Is there probably a little periscope, maybe?
Yeah, a really short one, right? Like most of the stuff that I'm trying to do in here is like I have my limited range of motion. So if I need to look up at the periscope, I would envision me reclining my seat so I'm completely vertical, and then having something go straight up, but I'm looking literally straight up.
Yep. Fewer mirrors are required.
Yes, fewer mirrors. Only one in this setup.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. And sure enough, we get the classic periscope view with the big bullseye. and again, have a look at that at Colmillo. It has a helicopter pad on the back. This is a serious yacht. It's lit up as it's starting to get dark, and you see on the very top deck, on the bow, and on the stern, there are guards, and all of them carry Beretta M12 submachine guns. We pause now for our gun porn moment. I'm going to drop that in, Sean. It's one of the coolest SMGs of all time, man. Have a look at that bad boy.
It does look pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, in other words, 3 very well-armed guards are on this thing. And you can tell that parts of the boat are dark, but there looks like there's either what you imagine is either a bar on board or some kind of like little mini ballroom almost, or something like a big open space on the third deck. The top deck would be where the bridge and everything is. So the third deck is the largest that's still used by everybody who's using it in a leisure kind of way. What is your approach as you lower the periscope and kind of, you're going to try to approach it, I presume, undetected, but what's your overall thinking here?
I'm going to get close enough where I don't have to swim a whole, too far, not a lake's distance. And then I will stop and get my scuba suit on and everything. And then,
pretty close confines in there, man.
Yeah, it's like sitting down and I'm like.
Yep. With a lot of rubber pulling. Yeah.
Almost like if I lay down, I just put in the harness. Yeah, and I just, yeah.
Flippers, mask, tank.
I would even say that I would submerge it, or the opposite of submerging.
Surface.
Thank you. Surface.
Surface the sub.
Yeah. Fill up the ballast and surface it up so it's just comes up really slow. It breaks.
Okay. Once it's dark.
Yeah. Oh, it's dark. Isn't it dark right now? It's dark.
Sure. Now
right?
It's dark. Suddenly the sun has gone down. It's probably, the sub probably doesn't make more than 2 knots. So it takes you a while to get out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I get enough distance away so that if it submerges, it's very soft and gentle and it just kind of bubbles up onto the surface and kind of floats. And then he will get out, of course, the top, the only, thing that's exposed, and opens that up. Yeah. And then he kind of slinks down.
Tiny, I've got to think there's a little tiny airlock. So any seawater that slops in is not going to go into the sub. you've closed another hatch that you're now standing on, basically, right? Yeah.
And then I crawl out a little bit. I kind of make my way over the edge of the opening and back down into the water.
Okay. So as you do that, I'm going to roll to see if they notice.
Okay.
As you pop the hatch and stick your head out, and you can hear the water. You can smell the seawater. You can hear it lapping against the side of the sub, right? But in the distance, and you wanted to get within what, like 100 yards, 100 feet of the cabin cruiser? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to swim quite a ways.
Yeah, maybe somewhere between that, like 100 feet, 150 feet, something closer, and they'd see it for sure. Yeah. Because as you get out, like the thing is lit up like a Christmas tree. Like it has like running lights. It's got floodlights on top. You can tell it has floodlights that can be aimed on both stern and bow. Right. They do not see you. That was again for transparency, that was a roll at disadvantage because of the darkness and because of the sub's camouflage. It's meant to be a stealth vehicle, right? I presume you're not wearing reflective gear, right?
Not yet.
Yep, not yet. All right. So, in other words, you've slipped into the water undetected. Your sub is there. You quietly seal the hatch back up, and you're now going to try to make for the ship underwater with your scuba gear. Okay. No, they have no chance to detect you doing that. So you can approach as you will. Bow, stern. The stern, as you can picture, has the easiest way onto the boat because it's one of those things where you can, if you look at the actual picture I sent you, there's a platform where you would be like fishing off of it, diving off of it, right? The bow is like 15, 20 feet in the air. Like it's not easy. So the stern is really, unless you have a grapple or something, it's your easiest way in, or magnetic clamps. Right, something like that.
Suction.
Yep. Suction cups. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Tell me your approach.
No, I'll go in the stern, the aft. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm picturing as you get back there, you can be within a couple of feet of the surface of the water, and looking through your mask, you can kind of see. There's a guard up there. He's not particularly on, these guys are there like all night, every night. So there's not a lot of threats that they've been dealing with, clearly. He's smoking a cigarette. He has that Beretta on a strap around his neck, but he hasn't got it in both hands like he's ready to go with it kind of thing. He's just carrying it. In fact, it's probably slung behind his back at this stage as he looks over the railing at Saint-Tropez, at the beautiful city, smoking a cigarette. What's it going to be, buddy?
So I'm going to make my way up there.
Yep.
And hope he's on the edge of the platform that he's there.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to bring myself out of the water and grab him. Bring myself out of the water with one hand, grab him with the other, and bring him down into the water.
Okay. All right. So that's a test to basically attack and grapple and drag him in.
Yep.
And I'm gonna offer advantage to you because he doesn't know this is coming. He's clearly distracted, with his cigarette, dreaming of the French girls that he'd rather be with right now in Saint-Tropez. 3 dice. You need a 5 or a 6.
I got 1, 5.
All right. So you grab him and you want to pull him in. Is that right?
I do.
All right. So he is not ready for that. You grab him by the pant leg. By the pocket almost, and you fall backwards basically. Yeah, pull him right into the water. Sploosh, there's a splash, but he immediately yells, but it's all he's already underwater, right? So his call for help. His gun is slinging around behind him. Sean's making the universal slit throat. The two of you are kind of drifting down into the waters, and you can see the struggle and the bubbles and everything else coming. Roll me an initiative. He's going to try to get away while you say you're going to just off him. I want you to roll 2d6 and try to get a success to see if he gets to try to break free before you.
1, 5.
You got a 5. So. You know what? We didn't say you have a knife, but I can't imagine you don't have a knife.
Or right. If I don't, that's fine. I'll just hold him underwater as long as possible.
Okay. Which is it? Do you have a belt knife, or are you trying to drown him?
I will knife him. All
right. So if you're grappling with him right now, if you can make it succeed at a standard test, you can deal some damage.
I did another 5. That's a good one. I'm going to keep that down.
Okay. So this is where I will house rule this to a slight amount. This is where when we talk about like mooks and cannon fodder and whatnot on the show and the ability for people who are supposed to be super agents to eliminate people quickly, this guy actually has 2 hit points, and you would have just done 1 with the knife. But I'm just going to hand wave that and say, no, he's under the water. You've already succeeded at dragging him down there. Maybe he's got some water in his lungs. The next thing we see is the sharp movement of the knife. And in classic Bond fashion, there's that spill of red into the water, right? That just kind of goes up and all over. And then we see you letting him go, and he falls out of the camera down, lower, as the water fills his lungs and his blood gushes from that area around his neck. All right. Climb out of the water?
Climb out of the water.
Okay. Blood, seawater and blood drizzles off your knife as you sheathe it. And as you get on the boat, you hear music going. You can tell there's that guard on top, that he's there from before, and there's probably at least the one on the bow as well, but you can't see that guy because you're at the very stern of the boat. You can either climb up to deck 2 from here, or you can go straight into deck 1, like through a door, straight away.
I'm going to go through
the
door.
Give me the general gist of what you want to do as you infiltrate here, basically.
Well, I don't want to make myself known to the guards so that they're hunting me through the ship. So if I try to stay from outside, away from the outside where they're walking along the decks and the
What do you do with your gear? With your scuba gear, your tank, your flippers?
Well, before I get out of the water, I just take it off and leave it.
Okay. Are you leaving it, like, discarding it, or are you, like, attaching it via a line to the back of the ship or something so you can use it again later?
I would...
Like a net.
Maybe there's a rail that I'm climbing up.
Totally a ladder.
Small little ladder. So I'll take one of the straps and just put it through and click it.
Okay. So you pin your flippers and your tank and your mask, basically snorkel, all that kind of stuff there. So now you're just in your wetsuit, which is, I think you described as more like a Speedo with a shirt kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's like the onesie. It's like the shorts and the
and short sleeves.
Short sleeves. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a tattoo? What does it say on the bicep?
It's probably a tattoo of the British flag.
Nice, the Union Jack.
Yeah, Union Jack. Yeah, yeah.
Forgotten country.
Yeah, right on the shoulder.
All right. Again, in the interest of pace, let's just see if you can if you can infiltrate this boat without being seen. I'm just going to make a test. State for me what your goal is. Are you trying to find Blanco? Are you trying to find the case and get away? Both? Like, what's your intent here?
Find the case.
Yep.
And leave. That would be number 1. If I run into Blanco, then he's in trouble. Well, then I'll probably just try to get the case from him and then see if he's in trouble.
Tell me this, where would you think to look for the case? Are you looking in private quarters, some sort of like below decks? You think it could be above decks? Where would it be?
I would say it's probably below deck in a restricted room somewhere. It's like under lock and key, maybe his quarters potentially. Otherwise, it's going to be in some weird state room with maybe a safe that it's locked in, or a closet, or even just a cabin that's under guard and locked. Especially if it's like, wait a minute, what? I've passed a couple cabins and no sign, and now I come to one that's got 2 goons standing in it, or 1 goon standing on it, standing at the door.
Got it. Make for me a regular test to stealth on board and basically get down to those staterooms without being seen.
6.
Make it. All right. So there's a few moments where you're having to wait, where there's some hired help on the ship. You can see there's a chef, there's a server, there's clearly a few people upstairs on this 3rd deck enjoying champagne, caviar, whatever they're doing up there. But you're going down, so you have to wait a few moments for the person to walk by. But Vincent's got some smoothness. He's they walk past, he slips behind a curtain or the door or the bulkhead, and then someone else walks by, and then he makes a little further progress. Takes him a couple of minutes, but sure enough, he gets down to the lower level where the staterooms are, and he finds a door that has the scorpion, the scorpion emblem on it. You know what? I have a I forgot to do something before, so I'm going to inject it now. Make me a test that's about do you say you had insightful?
I do.
Make it an advantage. As you see this scorpion, this white scorpion like a crest on the door. Roll 3d6.
A 5 and a 6.
Vincent, you reach up to this crest. You can tell it rotates, and only part of it rotates, like the center part, the center 3/4. And as you rotate it, and it clicks into place, the image is no longer of a white scorpion, but of Spectre's octopus face. It becomes Spectre as you rotate it. Sean is making the face.
Oh my god! Well, that dude's gonna have to definitely go down.
And as you do that, you hear a click with the door.
I twist
Tries
the
it.
knob. Yeah, I try it.
And it opens.
Do I hear anything on the inside?
You do not.
Is it lit or dark?
Pushing it open, it is lit. There's a light on in here. It's your classic little stateroom. I mean, it's palatial for a stateroom, put it that way. There's a writing desk. There's its own bathroom. There's a large bed as opposed to a little tiny bed. This is clearly Blanco's quarters that you have found. And
it's got family pictures.
There's artwork on the wall. You have all kinds of scorpions and stuff. There probably are a little it's the kind of kid when his family realized he liked scorpions, he used to give him different toy miniature scorpions for Christmas every year. So he's got tons of them everywhere. You probably see against the wall a whole line of stilettos. So he has these, they're all mounted. There's probably a station where he prepares his venom and whatnot. So you found the real deal here. But you're searching for the case, right?
I am.
Go ahead and give me a regular test to search the room. I don't think your insight's going to help you here.
I rolled a 6.
Got a 6. So sure enough, you lift one painting off the wall and there is a safe. Unfortunately, it looks like a relatively difficult to crack. There's 3 dials that you have to spin. You would need some serious equipment to get into the safe.
Is this safe?
It does look
big enough to hold.
Big enough for a case. Okay. It is. Remember your gear.
Oh yeah, the laser. I got it written down right here. Laser watch.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep.
I'm looking at my sheet and then I'm looking at what I have written down. No. Yeah.
It's all good, man.
I take my laser watch out and cut around the
lock.
The lock, yeah.
The spinning combo mechanism.
Yes.
All right. Roll 1d6 to see what the power reserve will be like after you do this. So only on a 5 or a 6 will you have power still. Otherwise, this is your one use for this watch.
Rolled a 5.
All right. Look at you. So takes you a while, and you can see the little red beam sort of drill into the steel, and then you start walking it up so you can cut around the lock. It's taking forever.
I imagine it's not going to be filming me trying to crack this thing for 5 minutes. It's probably going to cut away to the upper decks where the soiree is happening, right?
Yes.
And that one SOB that told me that I had to leave the casino is probably there too.
Navarro is absolutely. In fact, yes. No. In fact, let's do this. And what we're going to do, Sean, is a cutaway where the camera rises through the decks. So we see things that are happening on each deck. We see the kitchen. We see 2 people who are making out. We see the party deck where Navarro is there talking with El Scorpion Blanco. And they are clapping someone on the shoulder. It's the guy who was in the car who looked at you in Spain. He's here too. And then we drop back down as the laser, You cut the red beam, the beam, and you pop the lock out. There's a little bit of smoke and dust and some melted metal. But you look at your watch and you have enough charge to use this one more time. You have to be careful because the metals, you can picture the metal's a little bit red hot, right? But use a rag or something that you find, and you pull open the door, and there is an attaché case in there, blood smeared. It's a metal case. That's 002's blood for sure.
I grab it.
Okay. You pull it out, no alarm goes off or anything.
Okay. All right. I'm going to make my way out of here. I'm going to open it up, make sure there's contents in it.
It's locked.
I got some juice left.
You do. That will not make it lockable or closable, probably, if you use the laser to open it. That's up to you.
Does it still have the handcuff to it?
The handcuff has been cut.
Okay.
So you know what? Let's say this. It does have the handcuff on it, on the case, and there's another free handcuff that is very much marked with blood. It was probably cut off of the agent. Okay. The handcuffs are still there.
All right. Well,
what's it going to be?
I think in prime movie fashion, I would just take the attaché case and make my way out of here silently.
I think you're right. And I need you to make a test to see if you can do that. See if you can exfiltrate.
Dude, 2 6s. Not even lying.
Not even lying.
Not even
All right.
lying.
So again, you have to, be careful about the path that you take, but you wind from empty stateroom to empty stateroom or alcove to alcove. The wait staff don't see you. You get yourself to the back of the ship again. I presume that's where you want to go, and you've got your case, right? Roll me a D6. Don't get a 1 or a 2. This is the direction that the guy on top is looking.
6.
Look at you. Okay.
He's failed the whole end of this game.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Pretty great. So you're at the back of the boat. You have the metal case, which will be difficult to swim with, by the way.
It's all right.
What's the plan?
So I get back to the back of the boat.
You're at the rear of the boat with the water lapping right there where you would normally fish and dive. The ladder goes into the water. Your gear's there, right?
It is. So I get into the water to put on my gear in the water.
Okay, with the case sitting on the side kind of thing.
Case sitting on the side, just on the edge.
Got it. Okay. For drama, the fella at the back, we then the camera zooms into the water where the guy is he hasn't sunk to the bottom or anything because bodies don't do that, but he's a ways down, and on his vest we see a radio kind of little lights flashing, fizzing because the water's damaging it, but someone's been trying to contact him. And then at the front of the boat, we see a guy with his headset, and he swings his Beretta around to the front, and he's like, I can't reach him. And he starts walking towards the back of the boat as we switch back to you're in the water, putting your shit on. And again, just so we can kind of move the ball here, let's see. Let me see if you can roll initiative, and if you can beat him before he gets to the angle of the side of the ship where he would see someone in the water, basically. Case still up there.
A 6 and a 5.
Look at you. All right. So you see him coming, and let's say this. You'll have to sink down to your eyes kind of thing, right? And you see this black turtleneck wearing guy. All my guys are going to have black turtlenecks and black pants and black boots, by the way. Every one of them. They're all tall, long drinks of water, classic Spectre goons. But he's got his gun ready as he's looking. He's and he kind of, you can tell he's where's the guy? Where's Emilio? Kind of thing. So he gets to the back. You can kind of hear him. Emilio's not at his touches his headset. Emilio's not at his station. I don't know where he is. Let's see if he notices the case. That's at the foot of the. Yeah. He does. He does notice the case. So he takes his hand up. He goes, stand by. And he looks down. And there's this metal case on the final step before I get into the water. You're probably only 5 or 6 feet away, but it's dark outside. Your hair is dark. You're bobbing in the water. He comes down a step and is about to reach for that case. What do? Let him grab it?
No, I freaking stab him. I pull out my knife out of my. It's in my.
All right.
I got a leg holster. It's around my thigh.
You had already won initiative, so I'll let you just have an attack here. But if you're trying to attack a guy, I might make this a disadvantage.
If he's bending over to pick up that case, man. Bloop.
Okay, you're waiting until he's right there.
Boom.
Okay,
right?
That's what we. Let's try that.
Right up through the old.
He does
chin.
look wary. He looks wary. That's all I will say. Okay. Make a regular attack. Oh no. I think we did this wrong before too. This is at disadvantage because you don't have proficiency with light melee weapons.
Shit. That is true. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to say.
I pull out my freaking pistol.
I'm not going to say you have you're surprising him because he's wary. He's like, what the hell's going on back here? The guard's not here, so he's on edge.
Right.
As he reaches for the case, you have to roll at disadvantage because you don't have light melee proficiency. 1d6.
This is where shit goes south for old Drake, I'm guessing. It's been gravy since. 5.
Oh my God.
I'm on fire, man.
All right. So you do get 2 actions, by the way. So what are you trying to do? Dart up and just knife him in the neck, right? That's what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
So I'm going to play by the rules this time because we're not just trying to expedite the action. And you draw blood on his neck and he falls back, but he's not down. He falls back against the steps that he descended. His blood rushes from beneath his ear and down his shoulder. And there's this guy in the water with his knife. But what do you do now? You probably can't even reach him very easily from here, I would think.
I'm just going to grab the briefcase and leave.
Okay. So grabbing the briefcase is an action.
Yep. Then I'm going to go down into the water.
You say that before he gets to act. He gets to act now.
I get you.
He gets 2 actions. Yeah.
Okay.
And in which case he is, trying to hold this massive wound on his neck shut, but he lifts up his pistol, machine pistol, the Beretta, and he opens fire. He just peppers the water basically, and that is you have no actions left, so you can't evade. He's going to fire twice. Oh my God! So, cut to a scene beneath the water, looking up at Vincent treading water, reaching up and making the stabbing motion, grabbing the case, and then you're in the water and you're trying to fall back. Right now, we're seeing all these the little vortexes of water as the 9mm bullets just pepper the whole area. But for whatever reason, none of them are on target. They're all around your face, around your shoulders. The bullets are slowing down as they're all pancaking in the water as he just rips the water with the gun. But I think we can probably move towards closure here, Sean, as Vincent sinks down lower. You got your gear on, you got the case under one arm, and you are swimming madly away from the ship. Anything else you want to do, or any closure you want to give us on this scene before we wrap it up?
So I would imagine I don't go back to the submarine. I swim all the way to the beach.
Okay.
Right? Submarine is not an option.
Let's do this then. Let's cut to a picture. It's late at night now. The cabin cruiser is searching like searchlights all over the water. They've got rubber dinghies they put in the water. Guys with their little Beretta machine guns are looking. Sean's got something he wants to say. Go on.
I don't know where you're going with this, but
where I'm going is I think Vincent should now walk out of the water in front of us.
I think they should come across the submarine.
Oh, for sure. There's like
hey, there's some over here. Hey, bring it in, and they're reeling it in.
The bell is ringing, ding ding,
yeah,
and the
ding,
cat
ding, ding.
like the cruiser's coming over as well, and that's all in focus. And as we pull back to focus on something that's closer to the frame, it's Vincent in his wetsuit walking out of the surf,
and the submarine blows up.
Sure. You want a big orange fireball explosion on the Riviera late at night so it just lights up the whole town? Absolutely. And we'll see Blanco with his fist like this, on board, yelling at Navarro, Yeah. All right. You won that round, Vincent. Want me to reveal what was in the case or no? Is that for next time?
I don't know. I don't know if should know.
He's not going to open it, right? So there you go. I mean, the objective was not to find out what was in the case. It was to bring what the information was back
to follow orders. Yeah.
All right. I think that's a wrap. How was that? What do you think of Tiny Spies?
Well, it's good if it goes your way. It could be pretty bad if it goes south.
You rolled pretty well at
the
tail end there. Yep.
Yeah.
But you saw like in the chase. The chase was like over like that. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got her killed. Well done, man.
Yeah. So much for the recurring
that was also
love interest.
Yes, I know.
Bond's going to be Drake just
that's
tormented.
Par for the course.
Yeah, he's tormented now.
I kind of like the way it flowed. I mean, it's super simple. It's all about whether or not you can be okay with only being 1, 2, 3d6 and being in situations like that situation where you had to make the stab without the proficiency. Like those are pretty hard to succeed at, right? And things could have gone quite differently had you failed at that. But yeah, hopefully this is of value to people to see how this kind of game with a game with rules this light can still simulate this kind of action. I think, and recall that I always wanted to. I mentioned I want to see how the lighter games do modeling this fiction. Well, I think Tiny Spies can do it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think, though, if I would have failed half my rolls, even, it would have been chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
There's no way to change them, right? Like
that's the thing. Like, especially like when you were trying to infiltrate, for example, to the belly of the ship. Like if someone sees you, all hell breaks loose there. You're not near the exit. The alarm is being raised and all that kind of stuff. You just rolled really well. I agree. The game could, you could probably be taken to the next level if you added some small amount of meta currency. What do you think it would look like? Would it be an auto success? Would it be rolling at advantage? Would it be a reroll? What would it look like?
Maybe a reroll or an auto success. Auto successes are maybe asking for a lot, but to Bond, it's like Bond. Like this mimics James Bond. I wanted to do an RPG about like James Bond and Mission Impossible, and it's like there's so many role playing games that if you leave it up to the rolls and you fail,
this is one of them.
You're freaking screwed.
Even with advantage, you're only in the 70s for a success rate. So, yeah.
The failures can be pretty bad. I mean, yes, failure's fun in RPGs, but it's also how much like Bond's going to fail, but then what comes out of it can be part of the story. Yeah,
he fails forward. Yeah.
But that guy is when it's clutch, there's nothing clutch about some of these games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, other than like the hero points or fame points in Top Secret or even Agent Provocateur, but without them, like it's all die roll, period.
Yeah, and a game like this doesn't even have like the YZE version of take a condition or suffer something to push. There's no push mechanic. And this might be a case where they call it Cthulhu push mechanic might be a decent one, which is basically you can try that roll again, but things are going to get much worse if you fail again. Right. But you're really sort of sticking your neck out there. So the GM would be okay either having you captured or significantly injured or whatever, right? All those sorts of things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe in the end we our little 1.5 2 hour playthrough doesn't really get to the bottom of how it would feel over a campaign. I don't know, because you were succeeding so much, but I don't know.
It can be very cut and dry. Like I think if I would have failed a few of those, it would have prolonged things. So, somebody detects you, then I have to deal with the detection, and hopefully that goes swimmingly. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd probably be eventually hung up like a caught shark, my feet up in the air and The Scorpion's like, well, Mr. Drake. It appears we've met again.
We were trying.
Yeah.
I think it's good I think this game would be fine for Cold War or like mid-range spy stuff. But the minute you start getting into like, I want to do really cool shit and double down and not have my love interest die, right? That kind of thing. Or not let her drive off. I don't want to wipe my car out. I want to stay right on her. Because some people would be even upset by that, right? The fact that the chase just ended because you know, she did one maneuver, you failed a roll, and because you didn't have a whole lot of momentum, she was gone, right? And in many games, you're spending a bounty, a fate point, or whatever to prevent that from happening because you're like, I'm the hero. Of course she doesn't get away. Now, I think it makes for a good story that she did, but.
Right. And I don't have, what is it for driving?
I don't know. Is there a trait? There should be. We talked about this when we reviewed the game. Like they didn't do a great job with the traits, making them genre specific or emulative.
There isn't one, but it's probably under the archetype, right? Driver.
I think there's a driver. There's a driver archetype.
But
that's right.
Archetype, but that goes into the team thing. But like as an agent, I have no upper hand, and I can't.
Yeah, the part I think it gets, I like the game, but the part it gets wrong, I think most clearly to me, is the weapon proficiency thing. At least if you're supposed to be, it calls them super spies, and you have one type of four weapon types. You have one type that you don't literally suck at. Everything else you roll 1d6, like your knife in the water. That's the part but that's super easy to fix, right? For super spies, I would almost be like, choose one of the four that you're not proficient at. What is your one weakness, right? I'm not great at at sniper rifles or heavy melee weapons kind of thing, right? Fine. But to say you're only good at one of them, then maybe it's meant to be a growth thing, so that because you're adding traits and whatnot. If you use one of the alternative experience systems is point based, and I think you can get weapon proficiencies if you use that one. Anyway, well, we probably shouldn't go too long. We have a whole other show here on the breakdown. But yeah, thanks for playing, Sean. It was fun.
Thanks for running, man. That was fun. Good stuff. Scorpion. Yeah. He's still at large. He's my Blofeld, apparently.
Yeah,
bitch.
Yep. So yeah, and if people are either tired of this type of AP or vignette, they can let us know, or if they like it. Because we have made this kind of decision to let's chain them together through different systems and kind of tell one story. We won't always do that. Like when we get to some Cold War stuff, we obviously won't return to Vincent. Sean will just rename him slightly, I'm sure. And then when we do Agent Provocateur, I think the intention is that you're going to run that one, right?
That's the goal. So I guess then it'll be a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, I'm happy to run as well, but I'm also, I'll be keen to play. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Indeed. Well, having said that, it's been an issue. This has been an issue with GoBag.
GoBag has issues. It sure does.
It does.
We're looking at 2 of them.
Make sure you check out the next issue of GoBag, coming to a podcatcher near you. Thanks for joining, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.